Hey guys, how's it going? It's an absolutely glorious day. We woke up to 49 degrees outside. It's currently 52. I almost feel like I need another layer, but I know once I get started with our work, we'll warm up pretty quickly. But the sun's out, no wind. We've kind of entered into that time of year where it's still getting really warm during the day, like in the 80s. Today's supposed to be 86, but it doesn't reach 86 until about 5 o'clock tonight. So it takes all day to heat up. It's perfect. And we're just gonna be doing odds and ends today. I need to harvest all the rest of our onions here. Erin is gonna bring the brush hog through on the tractor and cut down all of these giant kochia weeds. I'm gonna move a water line out here and probably get some things planted. I'm gonna start another batch of marinara sauce. You guys, that recipe that we made the other day is fantastic. I had it, like I had enough left over in the pot to make a plate of pasta, and I tried it out that day and it was so tasty. But you never know, like once you process it and you've added the citric acid to the mix, you know, to keep it fresh in the jars, I just didn't know if it was going to alter the flavor at all. So I opened up one of the jars that we processed, and it's just every bit as fantastic. So we're going to get more of that going. It's just going to be a day full of just stuff. Onions are right here, just all mixed in with the weeds. We've got a bunch of Walla Wallas, a bunch of yellow sweet Spanish, Newburghs. And then look at how giant these kochias are. Oh my goodness. Erin took the brush hog through yesterday. I just want to show you out here. And he cut the whole pasture down, minus what he couldn't reach along the fence line. So we'll come along and clean that up. But it looks so nice. Nice and tidy. I mean, the kochia was just getting out of control. Anyway, that's what we're hoping the rest of it to look like, or at least this little patch right here by the high tunnel. And this is the water line we're going to be moving, because currently we have just one line. It originates here, comes across the front of these two rows, and then this row has 4 lines of drip tape that go just to the end of our corn, and then it's got 4 rows of drip tape that goes to the end of our peppers, which I'll show you down there. But then we also have this line we teed off, and it's just a solid black poly that goes all the way down to our tomatoes and vine crops so that we could individually water those plants. Once our onions are harvested, we don't have anything in this row all the way to the peppers, and we still want to irrigate the peppers. So what I'm going to do is cut this line off and end it right here. And then I'm going to follow this other line all the way down to where the peppers are. And I'm just going to basically reattach this whole configuration. So the nice thing about this is that these, we can, well, I need 2 hands, hang on. Those just slip off, so we don't even have to reattach these. What I'm going to do is cut it about right here. We'll put a figure 8 ender so that the water stops here, but it'll still go down this one. And then down the way, we'll cut back into this line and just reattach this right here, and then reattach it to the drip tape that runs by all of the peppers. Does that even make a little bit of sense? I hope it does. Let's walk down there. All of these weeds right here along the way will be cut down today. But see, these are the 4 drip lines where all the potatoes were. We don't need to water this area anymore, but I still want the peppers to be watered. We still have a good month and a half of our growing season left, and we'll get lots of productivity. We currently are getting lots of productivity off of these plants. So I'll cut the drip tape right here. We'll reattach that line that I just showed you, and then we'll tap into that black poly that's somewhere right underneath the soil. That way these will still be watered, all of our tomatoes will still be watered, but we won't be watering anything that doesn't need it. Also, Pedro and his crew are here working on the flagstone patio area again. So we'll capture what they get done today. We'll take a look at it at the end. Just exciting. I love it when there's lots of activity going on. Okay, so we're back here at the helm, kind of where the water originates. I want to make sure where I cut it, I've got enough room to get my T-coupler in once I move the rest of this back down toward the peppers. So I'm going to cut it about right here. That gives me enough room to use my figure 8 ender. I thread that on. Everything's cold this morning. There we go. When it warms up, this tubing's way easier to work with. Cut it a little shorter. There we go. Perfect. So now the water will be stopped here and it will just go this way. Gonna remove the rest of our drip tape. There we go. So we're gonna use this whole thing just right at the pepper area. Okay, found the main poly right here. I'm going to put my T connector on the end of our drip tape. So we're going to cut in here and put our coupler. You can see I already put the T coupler in the end here. So we'll attach it here, cut our drip tape, and then reattach the drip tape to our connectors. Well, that was a quick 5-minute fix. I knew that wouldn't take very long. I just needed to get out here and get it done. I pulled all the drip tape up so we could get in here with the tractor and get all those weeds cut down, and then we'll be tilling in here again soon. So here you can see where it's all coupled together. All the drip tape has been reattached. And then if you follow this one, you can just see another figure 8 ender here. So these are really short runs of drip tape now. Just feeding these peppers right here, and then all of those end right where the bricks are. The bricks are weighing down the drip tape. And you know, the other day when we were out here harvesting these peppers, I ran into a bunch of black widows, but I must have spooked them because I don't see any more in here. They might still be there. I'm really careful when I harvest still. I look everywhere I put my hands. But yeah, I don't know, they must have taken off. Okay, water line moved, so let's go get all the onions harvested. Oh my goodness, you guys, we ended up with so many onions. And you know, we've already harvested a number of the onions and they've already been dried down and they're in the root cellar. But I started off today by harvesting all the Walla Wallas, and they took up this entire table plus this section right to here. I do think there was an Ed's red shallot in there, so we'll get that put in the appropriate bin. But these are just such a good onion and they size up nicely. You know, we got some great big ones and then a lot of just really kind of normal sized, easy to use in a recipe sized onions. Look at all of those though. Oh my goodness, I didn't count. Plus we've got another basket in the root cellar, but that's a lot. These are the last of the Newburgh onions. You know, we grew a small section out in the area we were just at, and then I had 2 3x6 raised beds full of them. So we've already got those harvested in the root cellar. And then the yellow sweet Spanish onions right here. Oh, our AC unit's turning on. That's what's cooling off the root cellar. Again, some huge ones. I mean, that's massive. And then a lot of just, I mean, good. Oh, there's a slug. Nope, not today. There's a lot of big ones and some normal size ones. Now I'm just guessing here, but I think we have between, we've probably got about 350 onions sitting here right now. It's a lot. Okay, so now I'm gonna go out and harvest some tomatoes, and I'll probably show you guys that part, but I'm gonna take them in and get the marinara started, and I won't film inside just because I showed you guys that the other day, but that's the next step in my day. So let's go get the tomatoes and get that going. And then I'm hoping to get out kind of after lunchtime and get a little bit of planting done. This should be plenty. I've got a few tomatoes on the counter if we need to supplement a little bit, but I was really happy with what we got out of here today. I have to say, out of all the tomato plants, which we've got a bunch out here, and you guys know I took the no prune approach, which you can see clearly. And then, you know, we've got a nice crop of weeds growing up on this side of them. But out of all of them, and we've harvested gobs off of each one of these plants, the celebrities have performed the best. Every year it's a little bit different, but this year these have been the most consistently sized, really good flavor. It's a more compact plant, so they aren't trailing everywhere. Right there, right there, right there. So we're able to use our smaller Titan tomato frames. That's what we've used out here for all of our tomatoes. Anyway, I've just been really happy with them, and mine are splitting. Like there's a few that have little splits on them, while some of the other ones split a little bit worse, but anyway, celebrities is where it's at this year. So I'm gonna go in and get all of these processed because the marinara, it does take 2 hours to cook down. So if I can just get it all in the pot and get it simmering, then we can move on to some other things. simmering away on the stovetop and smelling up the house just beautifully. Oh, it smells so good. While I was doing that, working on that inside, Aaron came out with the tractor and the brush hog and cut down most of the weeds. You know, you can't get super close, especially when there's a hose link right here and a hose that runs, over to the water access, and you don't want to run over any of that. So he did it as close as he felt comfortable, and it looks a lot better. You can actually, kind of navigate through here now, which is really, really great. Oh, the marigolds that we started from seed, they're just looking beautiful. They're so much fun and so colorful to have out here. Now the cosmos, they were late seeded because I completely forgot to plant cosmos in the cut flower garden. And you can see what our rainstorm, the most recent one, did. They were all up and looking like this beautiful hedge, and the rain just kind of flopped them down, which doesn't matter. They're still really beautiful. Look at these. They're just gorgeous. Our sweet potatoes, which are planted on that side, are coming through the cosmos, kind of growing this way. You can see what they're doing, forming a complete carpet over there. I can't wait to see what we get when we dig those up. Look at these. These are is it apricot lemonade cosmos? Oh, the color on these. So pretty. And I love these as well. Are these the cupcakes blush maybe? Cupcake blush? So nothing going on right here. Up to the peppers now. Now my plan for this area, for next year at least, is to garden it very similarly to this year. A couple of big long rows, throw a lot of our big crops out here, the ones we grow a lot of. So I haven't decided yet though if I'm gonna grow wheat out here yet, or if I'm gonna grow it again in the cut flower garden, and what kind of wheat I'm gonna grow. If I don't grow wheat out here, I will most likely toss a cover crop out. So we will cross that bridge when we get to it. We still have about, I don't know, I feel like I've got a few weeks to decide. But we do have some beautiful stuff to pop in the ground today. We've got some Cat's Meow Nepeta, which is a type of Nepeta that gets a little bit taller than, like the Cat's Pajamas is a really beautiful ground cover type Nepeta that stays very low. Now I can't remember the exact height. Yeah, 17 to 20 inches, it definitely gets that. It forms just the most beautiful mounds of this sagey green foliage with the beautiful purple flowers. They're just a super tough perennial that the pollinators love. And we've got this variety and Cat's Pajamas in lots of different areas of our garden, but it's one of those that I will keep repeating in lots of different areas of our garden. And then we've got the Ginger Wine 9-bark right here. This one grows 5 to 6 feet tall and wide, looking a little bit sad in its container. It's just a little stressed. So we need to get it in the ground so it can settle in, and it'll look great next year. But you can see what the leaves look like. They bring that beautiful deep maroon accent to a flower bed. And then we've got the blue spruce, one of the ones that Isley sent out. This is the Moonstone. It's about full size, 2 feet tall by 3 feet wide. It might broaden out a little bit width-wise, but it'll bring that beautiful icy blue evergreen element in a very small way. So it'll be easy to tuck in. So let's run out and get these planted. And then by that point of the day, I'm guessing that Pedro and his guys might be done. Not with the project, but done for the day, and we can run over there and take a look. I'm trying to stay out of their way though today. I've heard the saw a lot. I'm doing some cutting of those stones. Feel like we could do with something red right in here. Oh yeah, we've got the reminiscent coral rose right here. Look at this. This is a beast of a rose bloom. So pretty. And then we've got the purple asters looking absolutely gorgeous. And this is a blue muffin viburnum right here. And we've got some hollyhocks that we started from seed. And then we've got the monstrous tiger eyes sumac just wanting to take over the world over here. I'll have to take after that one this fall. But I think this will look really pretty here, kind of backing these coral roses. I've got more than one of these because I picked up 3 of them for the pond area and didn't use them. So it's possible. Maybe we'll go grab the others and put them in here as well. I don't know, let's start with one. Oh yeah, That looks really pretty right there. I love it. I feel like what we need in here is a totem pole grass now. Like one like the big tall grass accent over there. There's also a few right over there. Having that super strong vertical interest with a little bit of icy blue would be really pretty. Okay, blue spruce next. Oh, goodness. Oh, you guys, I love that right there. It just tucks in beautifully. The only evergreen interest on this side of the flower bed is all the way down here, the Vanderwolf pine. So having something else right here to bridge the gap to the next thing, which is the Spring Grove arborvitae, is really nice. And I don't think it's gonna get very much bigger. Now that I'm looking at it while it's sitting here, I mean, 3 foot is its width, is what it's gonna get to. And that's pretty darn close, and that's 2 feet tall, definitely, from ground to the tippy top. So it might bush out maybe a tiny bit more, but nothing else around it is going to. So it's just absolutely perfect. Now I did swap out a drip line because it tees right here, and it tees that way so that I could come and feed all of these geraniums right here. But I don't need 2 drip lines to go by this. I just need 1. So what I did is I cut out the brown, which has the emitter holes, and I put a solid black poly around the back side of it, and then just connected it back to the brown that does have the drip holes so that this will still get the water it needs, but this has half as much water as was in this spot before. So I think it will keep a happier evergreen that way. And the best part about this spot too is that there's nothing around it that's gonna shade it. I mean, maybe eventually, yeah, the tulip tree, well, it's gonna get quite large, but it's gonna be a really long time. It's not like it's planted at the base of a shade tree somewhere, and it's getting harder and harder to find spots that are going to maintain that full sun in the end. While I don't mind moving perennials and things around, you know, because right now we're planting everything like it's a full sun garden because that's what it is, even though there's a ton of trees here. Eventually we'll have to move those things, but evergreens I don't really want to have to do that with. So I'm trying real hard to put them in locations where I won't have to fuss with their location. Okay, Nepeta left. Okay, so I was initially thinking of planting these on the right-hand side of the pathway here, but I just don't think it's enough of a contrast. This is the an Artemisia right here. The name of it is evading me right now. But anyway, I feel like this is too much of a silvery green to contrast that. I mean, it's a pretty pairing too, but it looks a little bit dry to have all of that next to each other. So I think I'm gonna bump them onto this side. This is a beautiful combination. This is the Rise Up Amberness Rose. Isn't that gorgeous? You can grow it as a small climber or a large shrub, which is what I'm doing, clearly. I've got 3 of them in here, and I just have enjoyed them so much. So I'm thinking, I don't really want this right up next to the grass because I've got some cat's meow just down the way a little bit. So I'm gonna start this drift a few feet in, like maybe right in here, and we'll plan to do something different right here. Yeah, that is so pretty. Oh yeah, I really like those there. I think they're gonna fill in beautifully. I almost feel like right here we need something solid. Like maybe a lamppost. You know, I've got the lamppost over in the end of that flower bed, which it's way too small for that flower bed. I wonder if I should move it out here have a little light out here. I think that would be so pretty. But we're gonna save that project for another day because I need to run in, finish canning the marinara, and then Pedro and his guys are still here. So we will go back out there a little bit later this evening and take a look at the progress. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's looking great out here. Now there is a white film on everything. He did warn me when I came out here just a little bit ago, right before they left. And he said there's a white dust film on everything because they've been cutting rocks and they'll clean it all in the very end. But it's just, oh, it's looking so good. So rock pathway starts right out here by the driveway. They are going to flare in a bit. So about right back in here, it will just kind of gradually flare instead of coming straight out. So that will happen tomorrow. But if we walk this pathway, and there will be soil right up to the stones, so we can plant little ground covers and little fun, maybe like sempervivums and stuff like that, just tucked in. And then look at the patio area. Oh, it looks so good, but my favorite is coming over here, turning around, and looking at the beautiful pathway leading out. Isn't that beautiful? They've done such a gorgeous job. I love it. Also, this rock edge, I love having that done. Oh my word. Not being able to see those concrete blocks right here is so nice. Look at the fish cruising around. If you look down here, you can see that the rocks come out. It varies a little bit, but like a couple inches, 1 to 2 inches all the way around, so that you only can see the blocks if you're like really down here and looking at them from the side. But standing up, you don't even see them. And here's a view from that side. So we'll have our furniture here, and you know, we can sit right on the edge, dangle our feet in. The fish are like, where is our food? That's what you normally do out here. CL6, now where's the shark? Oh, there's a shark. I can hardly see it. It kind of blends in with everything, but they're all right there. And then right under this stone is where that conduit is. I'm not going to pick it up because I don't want to mess with anything, but anyway, we'll be able to access that at any point. We asked them to put a small rock over it so that it wasn't hard to get to. And they are putting the sand in between all these stones as well, but we'll have extra in case we do need to pop this up. Then we can repair the sand. They are going to be cutting in the stair tomorrow and starting the walkway out. Just a wonderful job. Beautiful. And I can't wait to see it all clean, because right now they look really light in color, and you guys saw them yesterday. They're pretty dark gray. So that'll be nice to see them all cleaned up. And that is going to wrap up our projects for today. I'm going to go in and start dinner now. I did put a roast in the crock pot this morning with a bunch of yummy things, herbs and a bunch of veggies. I'm going to go to the root cellar now and get some potatoes for some mashed potatoes. It's gonna be good, I think. Anyway, I'm excited for that. So I'm gonna head in and start making dinner. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Kind of a menagerie of things today. That's always a fun day. See you guys in the next one. Bye.